Thanks for listening to this episode 2 of the Face Wrestling Podcast. On today's episode, we have a person who is trailing Steve in recordings this month and is trailing him in the standings, although we don't know the standings. But no, we have our good friend Trent on. We're going to talk a little JLMT. Don't forget the T. Trent, what happens if people forget the T?
Referee Nate Speckman gets very upset about that. Let's not put that out there.
We don't want Nate getting upset.
He will be here. If he's going to be there, he's coming home to ref the tournament.
No, wait, damn.
He is flying in. He's flying in to ref the tournament.
Amazing. A homecoming for Nate Speckman.
It is. I'm psyched.
Get your money's worth to see Nate.
Yeah,
that man.
He's going to be doing autographs. I'm convincing him to do a t-shirt. Perch has a t-shirt now, so come on.
Oh, does he?
I don't know if you saw have you seen the Perch t-shirt?
I have not seen the Perch t-shirt, but
he didn't make it.
Tap the mat. Tap that mat t-shirt.
Well, he didn't make it. It was made by camera guy gimmick. It was Nick Consalvo. He's like the guy right now in Chicago, photographer. He made the shirt, and all the proceeds are going to charity for, I believe, cancer research.
Okay.
And I think it's the same charity that the Brewers use. So it's the artwork is amazing. It looks like an old No Limit Soldiers. Like,
do you know where you can find that?
Yeah. Check Nick's Twitter handle. It's just camera guy gimmick on Twitter, and he's got the links to it. You can purchase them. I think they're ready this week. I mean, he did a run this week. I don't know if they'll be doing another run, but check it out. All the proceeds are going to charity though.
Nice.
Yeah. Or check Purchase Twitter. I'm sure he's retweeted it and stuff,
Okay.
I think it's Perch XLVII. I think it's his Twitter handle. But check it out, man. It's great. And plus, it's Perch. Everybody loves Perch. He should have a sitcom. Like, everybody loves
Very
Perch.
low.
I've never heard a negative thing about that man.
You never will. I got to meet his father. I got to meet Papa Perch at the Crusher Fest in Milwaukee, and it's like I can see where he gets it from. It's just this is it. This is in the blood, man.
Amazing.
What a nice guy.
That's so good. We've been so we've hit over 200 episodes.
Wow.
Thank you for and thank you for always hopping on. You're a regular. You're a recurring guest. It's just 2 years of faces in your blood now.
How many episodes has Steve appeared on? Like 58 of those? Like a quarter of them?
Not 58. No, we did a tally before we hit 200. We did a tally of how many shows, how many episodes of 2 Years on the Face have been like revolved around a local indie show.
Okay.
And no, Warrior, I think, was at like 14. Okay. So maybe cut that in half, or maybe not necessarily in half, because he was getting previews and recaps for a little bit. That's when we were churning out episodes.
That's what I was getting. I was getting slaughtered when it was like Steve got a preview and a recap. I was like, come on, man. I don't even stand a chance on this when he's getting that. But
yeah. So we did that, and now had an awesome interview with Craig Mitchell. Go check that out if you haven't listened to it yet. It's a really, really good one. Craig is in the ring. He's a maniac, but really, like, you take Craig out of the ring and he's just a really down to earth, super cool guy. And now we're getting back to, because shows are getting back. So we're getting a little back to a regular show covering Cadence. Right. So, talked to Monix about his last match. We talked about the Warriors Sweet 16, and now we have literally Chris and I like get up for this tournament every year, and it's one of our favorite shows. We have the Jim Lynam Memorial Tournament and a bunch of other stuff.
Yes.
What's been going on in the? Oh, go ahead.
Is it?
We had 16, 17, 18, 19. This is the 5th. 20 didn't have one. Yeah, started in 16. It was Chris Hero, Elgin, Callahan, Josh Alexander, and now we'll see.
Cool.
Who's okay. Next? Yeah.
Who is? You have a Wikipedia page, and I know submitting info to that is kind of hard, but it would be cool to get that up there if someone could submit the.
I want to put this out there. Actually, I've been meaning to tweet this out from the AAW account. I need somebody who can write us a good, solid wiki history page, include the lineup on there. And whoever wants, if somebody's listening to this and they want to do it, seriously, hit me up. I will load you up with like AAW merch. I'll give you some free GA. I'll get you in a couple of shows.
Say no more, Charlie. Sign up.
Yeah, seriously.
No.
I will hook you up for that service. Really,
My job is to clip this and put it out there. So if someone is listening,
listen,
yes, or if someone can see the video that we tweet, yes.
please do. Listen, if
At
you
Trent Zuberi.
yes, add Trent Zuberi on Twitter. Yeah, but if you feel like you can do it, if you're a good writer, you're a good wiki person already. If you want to put a concise, updated AAW history info tally, whatever, hit me up. I will take care of you for it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Danny and Mike are like, who the fuck out there asked you to offer free stuff in exchange? That's what's going on right now.
We need the full history because I was looking for it because Chris, I was kind of wondering the same thing. And yeah, we've tried. It's a little harder. The good news is you guys already have a page. So I think adding to it is easier. Creating a Wikipedia page is something we try to do way back for Kylie Ray, actually. We're like, hey, let's just give us a little bit of info. We're trying to make a page, and like it needs to be very in depth for them to approve it.
Also, I think until you're on like a media platform, they don't approve it, right? So she's good now because she appeared on Impact, so she's been on TV.
You need like references on other like articles, and sites and things like that. Yeah,
which that works with her now. Yeah, I guess early on it probably wouldn't have taken, so makes sense.
Yeah, so I think ours was just too bare, maybe, and like. You know, maybe we try to sneak a link in there to Heels Face. I'm not going to deny that. But no, it was really to help out Kylie. And then, it was, I mean, I would love a link to Wikipedia leading to our site, but no, that didn't work. So history, something that's that is going to be helped out with. So there's got to be someone out there. But like leading up to AEW, like kind of what's been going on just with the show and the roster in general, kind of like how your past couple months have been.
Well, you guys know it. I mean, rosters, shows. I mean, indies. It's hard now because
a lot of new names. So the last show that you guys had was the first show I was back. You know, since I don't know how long ago.
Yeah.
You know, pandemic plus kids equaled Chris No Wrestling. So I was able to go out to Bourbon Street. Had a great time, but a lot of new faces for me.
A lot. Well, you know, we have to because there's a new player, a new major player on TV who has a lot of money and loves to sign people. So they're signing people at AEW faster than we can develop them. So it's almost like by the time you warm somebody up, it's like, hey, they got a contract. Like,
yeah.
So every indie is feeling it. It's a trickle down, of course. That's why there's a lot of new names. That's why there's not a lot of, you know, you guys remember the real peak time of like 2017, 18 were like real hot years. Like it was like AAW, PWG was just setting the rule for the indies,
Pentagon,
right?
Callahan.
Yes, like Pentagon, Phoenix, Callahan at the peak. You know, I mean, everything was just firing.
Hero.
You know what I'm saying? Hero, ACH, like all that stuff was just on fire across the country. Jeff Cobb, Kingston, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
But everybody's been taken up. Everybody's been scooped up, and people are paying big money. You know, it's tough. We're coming out of a pandemic here, so you're rebuilding off, you know, you're rebuilding just kind of momentum in general, but then you're also trying to replenish talent. So there's a lot of kids out there. Now, that said, there's a lot of untapped young kids who it's like we're getting them now and developing them now,
right,
to be the future. But it takes time. You know, it takes time. It takes investment. It takes you know, finding the right character for them. You know, I got my projects, the ones my focus ones I love to work with, and I'm getting them over, and I'm, you know, producing their segments, and I'm doing stuff to really.
Yeah, is that like agenting almost? I know you produce the show, but are you agenting talent, so to speak?
Basically, yeah, that's what it is. So we get assigned, you know, different towns, like the different producers will kind of get their, I don't want to say favorites, but like the ones you work better with. Like, you know, it was always like I think in WWE, for example, back in the day, like Pat Patterson always agent Austin's match because he just knew, you know, it's like he just knew how to work an Austin match. Like he knew Austin, he knew his personality, etc. Right? It's just like one of those things where you just know the guy, like you just have a better rapport. You can read the guy better. You have something in mind already, so you just kind of work with them. So between Keith, Mike, and I, we just, you know, we have our focuses, and we go after that.
Nice. And then the last show, what booking wise out of the last, what was the name of the last show, and booking wise out of the last show, what were some of the big storylines coming out of it?
We had Defining Moment was the last one. Sandman made an appearance. That was great.
You love that, I'm sure.
I loved it, man. It was great
Yeah.
to do it.
I didn't think I was gonna get so excited seeing him, but once that, Metallica song comes on,
I know,
like the
man.
crowd goes wild. And then like that, his you have to listen to the whole song for his entrance to be complete.
Mhm.
And people are just one beer, poured on their faces,
I
and
know, man.
it's a whole vibe, dude. Like it's so cool.
It's classic. It's classic. Yeah,
Mhm.
he is definitely legendary in that sense that it's an epic entrance. He's known for it. I didn't get a picture with him. I'm bummed out. I didn't get a picture with him because
Oh, dang.
it was pretty quick. I was so busy I didn't get time to do anything. Um but there was great stuff. I mean, you had the dog collar match with SGC and Infamy. That feud for now is over. They put that to rest.
Okay.
SGC did come out ahead finally after a very brutal brutal war. But then you had, John Bravo attacking the whole feud with Russ Jones. It's continuing right now. He added more to his arsenal with his team. So you got Bravo, you got Big Beef joined him. I'm sorry, no, not Big Beef, Larry D joined
Right.
him, to attack Russ Jones now. So they're going after him now with Hardenbauer, his corner, all that stuff. So Fitchett, Josh Alexander, Fred Yehai, Shaft main eventing now, getting his first main event at AAW. The women, Allison Kay, she retained her title
Okay.
at the last show. When probably the show stealer was Allison Kay, Christy Jane, Sky Blue brawled all over Bourbon Street fight. And so she retained. And
The story out of that was apparently, so I didn't know the story prior to, but it seems like it's been an ongoing thing with Sociedad Boricua messing with, is
Sky
it with
Blue.
Sky Blue? Yeah.
Yeah. They got beef with Sky Blue, but they got dealt with because the Sandman took them
Yeah.
out with a cane, so that was
Mhm.
fine.
that seems like a good tag team to be like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys want to get beat up by a legend? And they're like, sure.
Yeah, I mean, and they're great. They're actually no, they're annoying as shit. The hell I got to beef up security. They're always a pain in my ass. Those two, but there was a lot going on, man. There was a lot happening. We had the lucha match. It was Gringo, Ares, Laredo, and Aramis for the
Aramis.
for the lucha showcase that we had.
Mhm.
Laredo is killing it. He's like everywhere right now. That's the guy. That is one of the breakout luchadors out on the scene right now.
Laredo Kid?
Yeah, he's everywhere. Like, it's crazy how he's just making rounds everywhere right now. So
I mean, I think he's been on that path for a couple
Yeah.
years now. Like I don't know what's left for him to like really fully say that he's taken off, but I mean, I think for the last couple of years he's been super consistent, super,
Yeah.
just traveling everywhere, wrestling everywhere.
You know what it is? He doesn't have that charisma that like a Penta and Phoenix did, on the indies. Like,
Mhm.
there was a charisma that like Pentagon would have that would just make you stop and you had to watch.
Yeah.
You just could not take your eyes off of even something as simple as the glove, and all that shit that he would do. But Laredo definitely is a solid wrestler. Just, it's the natural evolution. I'm sure Penta wasn't like that in the beginning, early on, and all that. So just just an evolution of character. As soon as things keep taking off, I mean, Laredo is very popular, he's very well liked, and he's awesome in the ring. So I'm excited.
Not to take anything away from him, but I think Aramis is the next best
Really?
thing. Like I really
He's
like
great
his
too, man.
style.
He's fantastic too.
Yeah, Chris is very high on him.
He's I think he's still living in Mexico. I thought
Yeah.
I thought he was like maybe doing a stay up here locally in the US, but he's still going back and forth.
He's going back and forth. He's not 100% here, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if that's the move he needs to make next, but I think, he's one to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, and he has the eye thing in his speaking of keep an eye, and he puts the eye in his palm and all that, right? So no, it's great, man. He's fantastic. He's a great breakout too. And then you have a leader like a Gringo who kind of grounds everybody in there, like,
Oh yeah,
sets
for
the
sure.
tone and everything like that, and I just feel like he's just that natural kind of like pivot point for these types of matches.
I
And
feel like Gringo is becoming that like really like number one underrated wrestler.
yeah,
Even though he was like, for maybe, I don't know, 2 years ago he was like super popular and like going to GCW and doing all those things, like he's still gringo, like he still does base god shit, you know. So like I think like you put him in these lucha matches, and because he is that base, you often like kind of take him for granted at times.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you absolutely.
That's a good. Yeah, it's
You
a good way to
absolutely
explain
take
it.
him for granted.
Mhm.
I love him. I think he brings something. He's become a bridge for lucha.
Absolutely,
He's the bridge. I'm telling you, like the way for a while, like Conan was always known as like the bridge, between luchadors and the US. I told Dan, I said, I feel like Gringo is that guy right now. If you tell him, hey, I need a luchador, I need a guy who can do this, this, and this, give me a solid 12-minute match, some new kid who want to make him. I feel like that Gringo's the guy who would know who to call. Okay, cool, I got a kid I can bring up or whatever,
Right.
like he's become that guy. So I'm excited to see who else he starts incorporating. But
yeah.
But yeah, lots of stuff, guys, going on. The young kids. We have our live show, which is the it was weekly. We're doing it like once a month now, but it's like a showcase of the rookies, basically, of all new talent coming up. So great way to show who else is coming on the show.
And I can't remember, but was Braxton part of this alive?
Braxton was there. Yes, Connor Braxton. Yeah, he was there. He was back after a long time.
Yeah.
His promos were great because he's just talking about when he went viral and everything. With the power board and all that shit.
That was like one of my first impressions, I think.
Yeah.
Like I remember I found out about you guys through Twitter.
Yeah.
And I think one of my earliest first impressions was Connor Braxton in an AAW ring. That was like one of the first videos I saw or something.
Well, he went viral with this, It was crazy. Like that video went viral. ESPN and everything. It was nuts.
So you can credit if you want to slip another $5 in his envelope for recruiting someone who's been a fan since 2014, 2015 or something like that. Or whenever Sting debuted his Survivor Series, when I got back in wrestling, I found AEW like that spring, I think. So
okay.
So before we move on, and I definitely want to get into the JLMT. I have to ask, JLMT, right? 2020. 2021. The agenda says 2020. You set me up, Charlie. What the hell?
You made the agenda today.
And you're like, that's great, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not good at proofreading. I was just making sure all the pictures were there.
I know.
Picture guy.
See, I actually did the pictures because I'm like, Charlie hasn't been to any AEW shows. There's a lot of new faces out there.
Tons, man.
So, I mean, because
you see how he just casually ran over me with a school bus there? Like just casually backed up a bus into me right there. That comment.
Fuck. See, I forgot my point now. God damn.
I watch him on Fight.
New talent.
I watch him on Fight.
Paco, where's Paco? I don't see.
Yeah,
Paco
where the
anywhere.
fuck is Paco? Dude?
I asked the same question. Paco can't do Fridays. Like he can't do Fridays, man. That's the guy.
Is he a bouncer
I don't know
at a nightclub or something?
I'm curious what Paco does for a living. I would love to know what Paco does for a living, like a shoe job. I don't know, but he doesn't. He can't make Fridays. That's the truth of it all.
Because once we talked about Braxton, I remember that fans bring the weapons match against Paco. I remember I was my happy ass was going to get some beers and I got hit with a hockey stick in the head.
Oh, I remember that. You got something hit like the top of the wall and then you were standing underneath it, right?
Stick, like
and then it just fell right down on top of your head.
Yeah.
Did it land in your beer?
No, it just hit my head, but the beers were secured in my pocket. So
yes.
We're gonna have another one of those. That's we're back to doing the fans bring weapons.
We're gonna be back at the Bourbon Eagles Club Friday, October 29th, the JLMT 2021.
Yes, sir. Both 2 nights, 29th and 30th. It's 3 shows in 2 nights. It's crazy.
I'm going the second night, and I can't wait to be packed in there. And that electric, like it's we've talked about this many times on the podcast. This is not new, but it's when everyone's packed in there and that energy is flowing throughout that place. It's a very special.
This might be the most expensive AAW show I might go to because my parents are supposed to move on the 30th.
Yeah.
but because I'm like, well, if I go help him, I can't make it to any of the shows on the 30th.
Right.
So I might just, shell out the money and pay movers to help him out.
It's so good.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. I think you earned yourself a poster for that one.
Yeah. So I want to get into the card. Yeah. So
Yes.
October 29th, Berman Eagle Sub, 7:30 bell, 6:15 doors. Before we do that, who is your champ?
Fred
Right now.
Yehai.
Okay, Fred beat Mance, right?
Fred beat Mance after a long
Okay.
feud. So Fred is a champion. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I needed to jog my memory there because I knew Mance
real
was it.
quick. I wanted to
Okay.
talk about this. So, and I think in a previous episode I mentioned, and correct me if I'm wrong, Charlie, I mentioned that, I got a trial for Sling.
I think you did mention that, yeah.
And then
brand ambassador for Sling.
I went to, yes, please, if Sling, if you want to sponsor us, I ran out of my trial, so there's, is it Vice? So Vice has the dark side of the ring. I can't remember the name of, like, it's like a catalog, or they did like a series of, like, maybe this was like 4 years ago, but of like indie wrestling.
Really?
And
On
like
Vice?
there's on Vice, yeah. So there's like, I think like 2 episodes where they talk about, at least I watched like 4 episodes, and out of those 2 was like Evolve, and they focused on Freddie Yehai and what he was doing at that point.
Really? Wow.
And it's a lot of good history on him and how he, like, got his style and how he was looking to stand out. And right now that you guys mentioned, I'm like, he's the champion. But if you take a look at Freddie Yehai 4 years ago, like, a lot of things are still the same now that people are actually getting to watch him, shine. So I just thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Actually, I've never seen that. I talk to him all the time. I don't really know much about his like life at all. Like, I know he trains. He works hard. He has like a posse he trains with and stuff. And
yeah, he's in shape. The dude's built, isn't he?
He's a maniac, man. I'll tell you what. This is the craziest thing. They had the hour. Him and Josh Alexander went an hour at Destination Chicago at Logan Square in September.
I heard about that.
Hour.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, man, Fred Yehai afterwards was like, I'm thinking these guys. I mean, he's like, all right, whew. Like he just got warmed up. He's like,
oh my God,
feeling good, feeling great. Gonna go out and have a good time. I'm like, I mean, they went intense for an hour.
And so the guy is just a horse. Like he just doesn't stop.
Machine.
He's a machine.
We featured him a lot. We did a film on him called Savage that Rob did. Rob Malinowski did. It was fantastic. I mean, it was very unique. It was an interesting look. I mean, he's basically a sociopath. That's when Freddie has. He's like, everybody sees him as a psycho, but he's like, what? I'm a regular guy. What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with me. But he's a phenomenal wrestler, man. He's definitely a workhorse wrestler. Here, I'm telling you, he just has a dynamic style.
He does not have social media, right?
He has Twitter. That's it. And
he's now on Twitter.
He's just under Fred Yehai on Twitter. Not a big social media guy, no Insta. He has a Facebook, but no Insta. Yeah, not a big. I wish he had more of a presence. I think people do want to connect with him more, but it's just not his thing,
Sure.
So, but Fred's the champion. Women's champions Allison Kay.
Right.
The tag team champions are Kurt Stallion, Jake something, and Heritage champion is currently Hakeem Zayn again.
Okay.
After he screwed Ace Austin. Yeah. 2-time screwed Ace Austin for it. So yeah, 2-time champion.
Awesome. So leading and knowing who your champion is, and leading into at least the first match that we have on our agenda here. This is going to be my demand to you. Where is that bracket at? I need it.
Man, the bracket. Like
the bracket.
Is the bracket not put together yet?
I don't think the bracket. Well, we have the matches. I mean, that's
yeah, but right, but the bracket matters. The bracket helps. You're like, oh, that could lead to this match.
I will take that, and I will tell the art department to go ahead and put a bracket together. I think we owe you guys a bracket.
I mean,
Let's do it.
every year we put together a parody bracket, so that's why brackets are important to us, and it allows us to really dissect the whole tournament and really be methodical about. And I say all this, but I always fucking lose. Charlie wins it all. But
I was like one match away from a perfect bracket.
That's
last year,
right.
I think.
Yeah,
I was very close. So yeah, I'm trying to get my smarkness on in a fun way.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. But like, because the first match on here is like 2 1 seeds basically. You have Mance Warner versus Josh Alexander right off the bat.
It's the rematch from Windy City Classic 19 because Mance beat Josh for the title. So
Right.
this is their first rematch since,
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
That's Chris already has his predictions in here.
Oh, you do?
He's been scouting ahead. Yeah. See, that's
I made my predictions without knowing the bracket, right? Like that's
have first round predictions, basically.
Right, but still, you got to know who they're gonna go potentially up against, and I've learned my shit over the last 4 years. You know?
Oh yeah, is this your year, Chris? This is your year.
It could have been, but the bracket's not here, so you know.
Well, the matches are there. We can make a bracket.
No. We can talk about the matches.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the juice is in the bracket, and I thought you guys were like holding out on us on purpose. I'm like, fiending over here. I was like, where the fuck is that bracket at?
No, it's coming. I'll get you one. I'll get you a bracket. We'll get a bracket. Yeah.
Great. Right. So yeah, Mance versus Josh. I mean, Josh is a winner of this tournament. Mance is both former champions. This is just like 2 1 seeds accidentally got paired together, but still like gonna make for an awesome match here.
It's a great one, man. I mean, I don't think we realize the magnitude of that match is pretty
right.
cool.
Like when you look at that, just it feels like a main event right off the bat.
It has been a main event, so yeah,
right.
You know that it does. Yeah, it has that feeling for sure.
Right,
for sure.
Manders versus Manders. I believe this might be his first, and Alex Hammerstone as well. These guys seem very new to the tournament.
They are new. Hammerstone, obviously, as we know, this is his debut.
Okay.
So, he had wrestled for Dreamwave before we absorbed Dreamwave back in the day, but Hammerstone is debuting. This is his debut in AAW.
Awesome.
I think he's a title holder at MLW right now. I don't think he's their heavyweight champion. He's holding some belts there, I think.
Yeah, he was. I know he was at some point.
Oh, bless you.
Woo! Excuse me. He seems like a guy that would fit into your like type of wrestler that AEW would like.
He's a big dude, man.
Yeah,
he's a big scary guy.
You got a lot of big scary guys on this roster.
We're becoming like a big man territory.
He's actually the world champion for MLW.
Is he? He's their heavyweight.
Yeah.
So I knew he's holding something there. But yeah, Hammerstone's debut.
I think he beat Fatu.
Got it.
Oh, Fatu, who was going to be in this tournament last year.
Competitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, cool.
We have
go ahead.
coming back.
Yes. Now talk about a show stealer.
Right.
Arez
and I think
Reed.
this is gonna, it's one of those matches that is gonna be completely different from the rest of the card.
Here's the thing. I gotta get Myron. I tweeted this the other day too. His AAW career is so, I think, overlooked in a sense because he's a former Heritage champion, former tag team champion, and he's had 3 appearances, and this is his 3rd appearance in a lineup. So like, this dude's legit, man. Like, he's been around, and Myron's one of those guys who has evolved every time. That's what I like about Myron. He's an evolving wrestler, so I appreciate that about him.
Yeah, I see. So he's one of the people, and I see some people like, you could use this tournament, right? Like, you're building to your WrestleMania, basically, right? To the Windy City Classic,
right?
So I figure like there's people on here where it's like, this person has main evented, could main event. That would be like an ACH. Like, we'll get to his match, and then there is the opportunity to. This guy has been in your mid card forever. He's an AEW loyalist. Like, he's been part of your core for as long as I can remember, the past 3 years, like you said. this tournament could be used to elevate him to that main event level. So I think there's like like if you're trying to predict a winner, there's two schools of thought here. Myron Reed falls into that. This tournament could project him up a tier.
Yes.
Or lift him up a tier type of victory.
Dude, he's almost triple crown champion, man. So like he's nearly there. So like
yes,
this guy, this is definitely a feather in the cap if he can make it all the way.
Yeah.
What's next?
I have him as a pick, like one of my maybe top 3. Like he's in there to win the tournament, like just because of those reasons that Charlie mentioned.
Yeah,
he's been around for a long time. He's won several titles. He's been in the tournament for X amount of years. So why not? Why not?
Absolutely.
Put my money behind Reed. So, and he also got a documentary from AAW, which was pretty cool too.
That's how you know you're a made man.
Yeah.
you get the Rob treatment on a
film. Shaft versus Hakeem Zayn.
This is the one I'm very interested in.
Okay.
I don't know much about Shaft.
Yeah, neither do I. Hit us with the knowledge.
So Shaft is a Pacific Northwest guy, mainly for what is it, Destiny out there? Destiny Wrestling, right?
Okay.
Destiny or Defy.
Yes.
In Washington. He's like one of their top guys, and he is a beast of a guy. He's an amazing promo, but so is Hakeem Zayn. Shaft's just power, man. Like he's untapped to the Midwest here, but he's definitely our guy. And his elevation's been fast, and it's something I'm excited about. I've been very excited to see him come into the company, work with us. He's got a good attitude. So I'm excited. But again, you got Hakeem also to current Heritage champion.
And he has the muscle behind him. So
he's got Karam. Let's not forget that.
Right.
Karam is in his corner.
He's a factor.
And Karam is about Shaft size. So that's where the muscle part comes in,
Right.
So they Karam's back. He was injured for a while, but he is back. So he is definitely he's back in the mix. So very interested to see a nice little face off between him and Karam. Who knows where that leads, man? I'm psyched. This one caught my eye purely for like the dynamic is so different. The size is different. They're both good shit talkers. They both got good confidence. They have good attitude. I'm curious where this goes, honestly.
Yeah. It seems like there's a tweet there's like always like a tweet that circulates every once in a while where someone's just like, why are people not talking about Hakeem Zayn enough?
He's got a cult following because of that, and it's one of those things where we did a lot with him, and then Impact's like, oh, look, he can actually, he's great. And they did a lot with him.
So wasn't Hakeem like his AAW push, let's say, was happening at the point where the pandemic hit?
It was like peak. It had peaked right around that time.
Like he had just won the title, I think.
Well, he had won the title about 4 months prior ish.
Okay. Because I remember he was doing those promos where he was a mystery person. We don't know who he was.
We built up.
That was super cool. Like,
we revealed that in September, and then he won the title in December.
I mean, then, a month after Paco won it, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Paco's
so much for hashtag push Paco for the last 2 years before that.
Yeah,
we got a month. You
got to he's in the record, man. He's in the record. But yeah, Hakeem beat him in December, and then we shut down in March, right? So he had a nice but he is technically the longest reigning Heritage champion of all time. That's what, thanks to the shutdown, he definitely got a long run. But yeah, man. I mean, he's a very untapped talent. A lot of people, a lot of these, like I said, Impact.
His mic work is great.
Oh, he's phenomenal. I mean, he could talk. So can Karam. That's the thing. Like both of them are great talkers, and when they're upset, they're even better talkers. So I love just letting
and both of them together, like just kind of the contrast. And them both being so good at the mic, like it makes perfect sense. So that's why, like, the odds are against Shaft at this point.
All right, well, hey, listen, I am excited about that. I'm curious where it goes, what direction it goes in. Either way, I think it'll be a fun match to watch.
Yeah.
No matter what.
The one that you need to talk us more about, I
Yeah.
think, is Daniel Garcia versus Thomas Shire.
All right, so this one's interesting because they're both very young. I think Garcia just announced he was signed to AEW today, I believe.
Yep.
He just signed his contract today. But talk about a guy who has taken everything by storm. He's 22. I think that's it. And I think Shire's only 22 also.
Wow.
Big kid, man. Shire's a big kid. Daniel Garcia is another, like, he is just a technician. He has that Bryan Danielson technician-ness very early on. But Shire's size and muscle, Garcia is psychology and mat work. This is like complete contrast, but this is where it's going to be interesting to watch. I like Shire. I remember seeing him the first time, and I'm like, I just go, I don't know what it is about you, but I like you. You're just like a nice guy. I'm like, you're just a likable guy. And he's like,
was he at your at Defining Moments?
He was, yeah, he was there.
Yeah. Okay,
He's a likable guy.
Yeah,
he's like one of those guys where he's just like, you like immediate, like he's that guy in high school.
He makes your head turn a little bit, like, oh,
right.
I wasn't expecting that. Like,
right. But he's that guy in high school, like, you know, like everybody liked him, and you're like, what did he do so special? But it's like everybody likes him because he's something about him. It's very likable. That's what it was.
Right.
He's just a likable guy. But
that helps. Hey,
it does.
That's an asset.
It does. It really does help. He's a good. We pushed him. We gave him a shot. Like, he went up against Mance in like his second match with us, like for the main event of one of the Alive shows. I mean, they're one of the comeback shows early on.
Okay.
In the reboot, but we went with him. Like, we really entrusted him for a nice showcase, and he delivered, man. I guess that we were very impressed with how he stepped up. So keep your eye on this kid. He's got something. Garcia obviously is already on a national stage at this point, so
right.
We had the right person there. But yeah, keep your eyes open, man. He is. There's something special again about these guys.
Yeah, and then these are not AAW debuts, right? But JLMT. Don't forget it. Debuts.
Yep, that's their debuts.
Yeah. So their first tournament.
The one that I was surprised to see in this card was Lee Moriarty going up against Ace Perry.
Lee also announced his signing today. Lee got signed to AEW today. So that's the thing I was talking about at the top of the show. It's like, it's hard. These guys are getting signed so fast.
Wasn't Lee Moriarty already signed to AEW?
I believe they didn't have a formal contract. They had like him and Garcia were making appearances, but they didn't have a formal deal until like now.
I thought Lee was like offered a like on the spot, like Triple H type of NXT, coming out of the, from the back and just offering him a contract. I remember that being a thing, but
like he did with Cedric.
Yeah.
They're doing so many. I couldn't even tell you, man. They're signing so many damn people that I'm like, I don't even know what's what.
No, without taking any credit to Ace Perry, who's been consistent also, like, with AAW and other promotions that I've seen lately. Like he's finding his like unique groove into his character, which I can appreciate. So this could be anybody's game, but just given the circumstances, I think Ace finds a way around it and moves on.
Hey, listen, he's crafty, man. He's a sleazy, crafty guy. So he's something about him though, man. Every time I like do a promo with him, I love his confidence. It's infectious, actually. Like, he's very confident. Yeah. Which I like. So I like it, man. I haven't seen much of Lee personally. I saw some here and there, but I like Ace Perry a lot. I'm excited to see what they do. I can't imagine the styles are very similar here. So it's gonna be fun to watch how Ace and him work. So another interesting one to watch.
I think the Daniel Garcia and the Lee, and Lee Moriarty, as you said, like, that's like when you preheat the oven to 450 and like it just dings that it's 4. You're like, okay, these guys are ready, and then it's just like Tony Khan's like, whoop, he just like drops in and just scoops them.
I think like that makes me think about like when you guys were starting to book, was it Airwolf?
And
then like so quickly. Like I did not see that signing happening, but it's like, well, we picked him up, removed the mask, and
It's tough, man. It's really tough when like you're getting people over because you were on a stage where when the eyes are all on it, right? And they're seeing it, they're like, "Oh, this guy's grew up. Let's give him a contract."
but I also think that speaks to. I mean, and I'm not saying that AAW is the only one doing this nationally,
Mhm.
at an indie promotion level, but that's what stands out. Like the production, these specific, you know, YouTube series and videos and all this, like specific productions on a wrestler from, Malinowski, like it all like helps the wrestler get that spotlight.
I will say this, and just to toot the horn on us really is that
Go for
I
it.
think independent wise, production wise, I think we're untouched. I think nobody is touching, and AAW has always been the one at the cusp of, we do feature films, we do a lot of promos. Like we are a promo heavy company, character
Mhm.
development company. A lot of indies will come in and they'll bring somebody in and they'll just let them do their thing and then they leave. But our thing is we want to develop a personality and character while you're here because it only helps our brand too. So our idea is to develop them as an AAW talent with a character, with a story, with something they can sink their teeth into. And we do a lot of promos. We push promos heavy. Storylines. We're a very heavy storyline company. It's something that a lot of indies they're too lazy to do, man. A lot of indies are like, let me just book a bunch of matches. It's like, no, but have a story, arch a story between them because that's what carries you. That's like watching episodic television at that point.
And even
So
though you guys have been doing that, for the past what, 2 to 3 years, and really putting that effort behind it, like the wrestlers take note, right? Because if we even
mhm,
go back further, I still don't know where in the archives of Two Heels and a Face this is, but
mhm,
when I spoke to Pentagon and Phoenix, like they literally said like AAW is the only promotion that has given us time to develop our characters, to really feel like this is home. That's why we, at that point they're like, we call AAW our home because they adopted us from, all these Mexico promotions, whether that was AAA,
mhm,
CML, all the things that they tried through and through. It's like we don't have like those are like those were national shows in Mexico or international because some of those shows are being watched here or whatnot. But they expressed that it was so different and refreshing for them,
mhm.
that you guys like focus on the talent, on growing that talent. And I've heard it like even being by the bar at Logan Square where certain people are like, who's the next, like asking, like, production people from AAW asking, like, who would be the next talent to come up? Like, let's develop them. Let's work on those characters. Let's make videos and promos. So yeah, like I think that's where AAW stands out within the indie scene. You know,
You mentioned
from my
Pentagon.
experience. Mhm.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's something we're very, very proud of. That's like what we pride ourselves on is that. Um, but yeah, speaking of Pentagon, the whole Cerro Miedo thing. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I came up with that whole thing. It's just
Oh,
it's
shit.
good. I was like, hey, listen, man, I don't speak Spanish, but I know a couple of words. Let's try something here.
I heard you're fearless.
I heard you're fearless. And there used to be a brand back in the day called No Fear, in the US, like a skater brand. How about we try this? All right. How about we try something here? Don't think call me crazy, Pentagon. And he's looking at me like I got three heads.
Call me loco, but
Call me loco. All right.
Well, so speaking of story,
Yeah.
yes, thank you.
the most intriguing, no, it was very good.
Segue, baby. Segue.
Yeah. Speaking literally the most intriguing storyline for me in this year, and I have to admit that I am a little bit behind. I will always admit that when I don't watch wrestling because that does happen very often was when I don't watch. But I'll catch up. I will do my catch up homework. But the most intriguing storyline to me right now, and is no surprise, is there's a guy in each of these next two matches. So this is like why I'm looking what is the bracket? Because I want to see if a Matt Fitchett versus Davey Vega match could exist in this tournament, because the next two matches are.
That's why my picks were what they were, like Fitchett versus Vega, because hoping that happens.
Right. Yes, exactly. So that's what I'm going to pick as well. Spoiler alert. I haven't filled anything in yet, but I guess it depends on where they are in the bracket, but Jake something versus Matt Fitchett, ACH versus Davey Vega.
Mhm.
And
I mean, when you look at this, right, it's the besties, but when you look at this, like you look at Jake something, main event, tough, big guy, ACH, former heavyweight champion, like, you know, and there's also some history with ACH and Davey Vega, right?
Yeah, with everybody involved. Yeah,
they're buds.
They're buds, and they're gonna go at it. But also, you got Fitchett, who's like a staple for AAW, part of the like. I just eventually, like I said, I wanted to get to Fitchett versus Vega, because they split up. But Trent, correct me if I'm wrong, if I missed anything, but there was no like ill will on them breaking up. They just went their separate ways.
They just decided,
which I love that.
Yeah, it was like, I want to go for something on my own. I want to try something fresh. I want to get Fitch has never held a singles title
ever since before they were even called besties in the world.
Yeah,
Charlie and I were like, next show they're gonna break up. Next show they're gonna turn on each other. And years later, here we are, hoping for that match, but they never actually had any beef.
There's no beef. There was a respectful thing. I will say Vega, of course, gets on Fitchett's nerves sometimes, because he likes to give Fitchett advice and be like, hey, well, listen, man, as a former Heritage champion, because you've never held a singles title here. Let me tell you how you go after singles belts around this place. Right. So there's been a lot of those promos, but it's
just
very
quick
possible.
Callback. I mean, when we talked to both of them together as besties in the world, that night they won the tag team titles.
Hey, listen, it could very well happen. The fact that they're both, the Fitchett's doing the best work of his career right now as a solo. I mean, it's unbelievable. The match he had with Josh Alexander a couple shows ago. I mean, like, Vega has evolved. Now he's under Johnny Bravo. He's working with John, and he's got Hartenbauer and all that going on. So there's a lot with Vega. There's a lot going on with Fitchett. These two are at the peak of their careers right now. And if you thought tag team wrestling was their peak, I mean, this is their solo runs right now are phenomenal.
Yeah.
So definitely ones to keep an eye on. I absolutely, they have evolved. Fitchett for sure. I don't want to take anything from Vega, but Fitchett is he's not the same guy I've seen for years. Like, there's some fire lit under his ass that he's like, I have to establish myself, so, and it works, man. It's cool.
Yeah. And they're doing it in very different ways. Their singles runs. Fitchett seems, well, I don't know if he's still nursing an injury, but he's very come from behind, get beat up, come from behind, wins because of his injury.
Yeah.
Vega is obviously taking the low road. As
typical Vega, typical scumbag piece of shit. Low road, like, that's typical Vega. And hiring Johnny Bravo, who is nothing but a sleaze. Okay, who is nothing but a sleazeball. And just underhanded and not, cheat to win. Just typical. Everything in typical Vega. Is what
yeah. If they're doing two singles runs, I just feel like inevitably they're on a collision course. And I just don't know if it's going to happen here. I don't know if it's going to happen at the Windy City Classic, but there's just so much history. There's so much potential story that could happen. So, and I don't know if they have been intersecting these past couple months. Like I said, I'm a little bit behind, but I think that I want them to. I mean, if I were to dub myself just for this very second in life, the AAW booker, which I am not, if I were to dub myself that, then I would definitely have them collide. So I think there's a lot of potential there.
Listen, there's always a hook in former tag team partners meeting one-on-one. So you never know. You never know, man.
Yeah, the smarky side in me though, like, is like, you have Jake something and ACH, like, these are powerhouses, throughout AAW history. So it's gonna be a tough chance for both.
It's gonna be tough.
It's very The matchups are very hard to predict.
Yeah.
On paper, I'm telling you, like they're very hard to predict.
Especially if you don't have a bracket.
You're right. I will get you a bracket. I promise you, I'll get you. I'm sure there has to be, like, once I actually get the breakdown of the bracket, I'm sure I can find a bracket maker template online and I'll put it together.
Like,
Yeah.
Trent, you just gotta let me know. I'll make it happen.
I got you. But no, on the surface, they're hard to predict, man. I mean, even down to Ace Perry, Lee Moriarty, like they're just hard to predict for me.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, any of this can go any which way. Anybody is a viable contender for the classic on this. I mean, really, everybody's having peak shit going on here. So it's really interesting to see the rise of all these different talents. I
think you guys saw my perfect bracket last year and are like, we really gotta just scramble people's minds.
Totally screw with everybody. We can't make it that easy anymore.
No, it can't be that easy. It can't.
But that's the tournament matches. Yeah, man.
Well, that's just on the 29th.
Yeah. Then you'll have round 2 the next day.
Well, before you even get to round 2, there's another show, Trent.
Afternoon show, 2 p.m.
Where does the idea of like having 2 AAW shows happen? Like, where does that come from? Like, I mean, we're talking about the JLMT. Like, that's packed.
I know.
Like, that's heavy. Like, that's a bunch of matches.
So,
but let's just insert a show in the middle of the day on a Sunday.
Heavy show. Look at the show. This show is heavy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought, I was telling Charlie, I'm like, this is an all-women show, but it's not. You're gonna have Eddie Kingston versus Fred J. High, which I'm like, already Eddie Kingston's coming back once again to AAW, who it's an AAW darling. Like, he's been, he's a staple. He carries the name. Whenever you see Eddie Kingston, AAW comes to mind, at least for me.
Sure.
So I mean, talk to me about that show.
So it starts off with Danny drinking a lot, and there's alcohol is involved.
Cheers.
And there's a lot of drinking going on, and it's like, hey, it'd be great if we did an afternoon show that tries to outdo 2 nights of a tournament. And it's like, what the fuck? But like, Hell Hath No Fury is happening at 2 p.m. the afternoon of night 2 of the tournament.
Saturday, October 30th. Tickets on sale for all this, by the way. But yeah, it's headline. I mean, the title match, it's Fred and Eddie in the main. You have Rush Jones on this card, but it's very women focused, right? So the women are kind of leading this one. So you have Fans Bring the Weapons, which is Sky Blue and Christy Janes versus La Sociedad Boricua. It's 2 Exa Rico and Rico de la Vega.
Yes.
Which, well, first of all, like, let me take a second. I know I talked about them earlier, but I'm really glad that AAW took a shot on these guys.
We saw them once and we were all in.
I'm like, it's great. I don't know what the history has been with the Sky Blue and how that originated, but based on the last show, I'm like, okay, I see the progression onto this show. And I can see why they would want to go at it. But then you also have Thunder Rosa
making her return. Thunder Rosa.
That's a big one.
That's not an easy thing to get. Like, Thunder Rosa making an appearance at the Berwyn Eagles Club once again versus Jody Threat.
John Thunder Rosa and Jody Threat. It's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like, I'm psyched about that. We have Vert Vixen is debuting on this show as well. Heather Reckless is on the show. Hyan. Sierra, who's just killing it right now. It's everywhere. She's making rounds everywhere.
It's an appropriately named show. I mean, the phrase is "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorn," right?
That's the idea, right?
That's the idea. I'm sure people have put that together. Everyone's like, "No shit."
I mean, not to say anything less than that, but Kylie Ray coming back to AAW, to the Berwyn Eagles Club, against Allison Kay.
You have Allison Kay, who's our women's champion, putting that title up, and it's she's such a solid champion. Like, she's such a solid staple of women's wrestling around the country.
Yep.
And it's almost like you put anybody against her in any marquee, and it's like, it's going to be a great match. And of course, like the opponents we put in front of her are like just marquee talent. So like, I am excited to see what she does. She has been on a tear since getting the title, and this is a nice little matchup to showcase, to take her further in the title reign. To really have her prove why she's top dog in the women's division right now. So
Absolutely.
I'm excited about that. And honestly, look, we have so many girls on this card that really have just like, I mean, any one of them is a future contender. That's how I look at it too. I mean, you have.
I mean, High End's been around for a while.
Dude, she just got back from a tour of the UK, training and wrestling in the UK. I mean, I am dying to see how she's upped her skills. Dying to see this.
Yeah.
Heather Reckless.
I think it's something you guys have never done. You've had women's matches, obviously, but I don't think it's ever been this focused. So I think I think it's I think that idea in itself is really cool.
The last time I think the company did something like this, it was before I was with the company, I believe. It was Jawbreaker was the show.
Yeah, that's not fair of me to say. Sorry. Since I've been watching, it's something that you never done.
But that it's rare. It's not like it happens a lot. Yeah. But Jawbreaker was like the last time they did it at Berwyn. And it was great. I mean, it's really unique, It's not quite like a Shimmer show, but it's very balanced. It's very focused, and it's very because you have like the couple of men's matches in there to break it up a little bit. You do show kind of like that.
Well, I mean, technically, you've announced only one men's match.
Actually, that's it. Then one
intergender.
Intergender, yeah.
That's it. So it really is just a title match for the men. Otherwise, it's all women. But who knows?
It's cool though that they're giving other people a spotlight, because the night 2 of the tournament is just like this is really like everyone's really focused on the tournament, and it's an all men's tournament. That's just traditionally how it's been. But you're giving other people a chance to shine too earlier in the day, so everyone gets their time in the ring.
Yeah.
So once Hell Hath No Fury concludes on October 30th, just a reminder, bell time is at 2 p.m. Doors open at 1:30. Then, we resume back at 7:30 bell time. Doors open at 6:15.
But wait. You're missing a big part in the middle here.
Oh, geez.
You have a break in between the two shows. That's when you go get Berwyn tacos across the street.
Yes, tacos.
The taco place across the street from the Eagles Club is.
All right, I'm gonna make some controversy. Like, sure, if your standards are pretty low, like,
whoa,
sure.
Jeez.
I haven't had them in a while. Have they gone down in quality?
But
what about white dudes enjoying tacos?
Yeah, that's really what it is.
But hey, there are tacos across the street. If you wanna, indulge in that, no shame in the game. Like, it's
Chris, if tacos from Mexico are a 10, where do most Chicago restaurants fall?
They're definitely nowhere near. I can say that.
What are we, like a 7? Are we a 7?
Now that I've experienced tacos in Mexico for my first time in Mexico the last month, they definitely don't compare up here, man.
Well, it depends on what Mexico tacos, right? Because there's like resort Mexico tacos.
No. Fuck those tacos.
I was in town, man.
No, fuck the resort.
I was in the town. Like I ate some real shit,
Fuck a resort taco.
Yeah. They hook you up too, man. Hey, wait, Charlie, did you go to oh my god, what's it called? Ponchos in Port Vallarta? It was a really famous place.
Oh shit. No, that sounds familiar. No, I didn't. I don't know if I did though. I don't think I did.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Holy shit.
I had a really weird night in the Zona Romantica at Puerto Vallarta.
Did you?
We could talk about that off mic, but it was
that I've never done. That I know that
crazy night.
I want to assume that both of you did. At least I know Trent did.
Yeah.
Was the Mesoamerican ball game presentation, like where it's that like presentation where like the Aztecs will play ball game, which was like all hip into like a almost like a basketball soccer
where you got that hoop on the side of the that looks really hard. That game looks really difficult.
Right.
Which game? What are you talking about? I'm trying to remember what this
It,
is.
wa- I know because I just saw your I don't know if it was Snapchat stories or Facebook or
Uh-huh.
whatnot, but it was like the whole Aztec presentation that you guys went to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, no,
And
that was at the house we were staying at. We brought that up for my mom's birthday.
okay, because I've never been there. I've never seen that.
It was amazing.
Like I just know that that's like super cool. Like prehistoric games and all that shit. Like I would always want to go see that. Like I've never seen that live.
It's amazing, man. It was awesome. I definitely highly recommend it. We got them to come to the villa we were at and perform for my mom for her birthday, which was down there. So it was really awesome.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. It was really
Nice.
badass. Yeah. Fire show, everything.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I mean, the tacos they'll hold you over.
Hey, they'll hold you over.
they'll hold you over.
That's all that matters.
You know, Chris will look down on them from his ivory tower.
No, I mean I've been there. I've had them. I would not mind having them again, but they're not the greatest thing.
Okay.
Just putting that out.
It's
there.
I think people like because of the convenience. It's literally across the
convenient.
street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's also Paisano's Pizza in Berwyn, which is fantastic. Just putting that out there too.
You make a whole
Alright.
day out of it.
I'm just plugging everything.
Oh,
Oh, that's that bell.
Someone's dinner bell just rang. But I will be at the second night for sure. Probably be watching the first night from home, but I'm gonna watch this whole tournament like I always do.
Yeah, you definitely have to watch both. You know, at least if you're not going to be there for night one, you definitely have to order on Fight.
Yes.
Just make sure you're caught up and all the happenings.
Absolutely. And those hopefully will be trading cards left over the second night.
Oh man, so the trading cards are coming out.
Yeah,
If
talk
you guys
about the trading cards. Like I was on Charlie before we started recording. The first set that you guys released, I've never opened. The second set I did. I opened it. I went through it. But now this will be the third set, and we just found out about this tonight.
I just posted it tonight. So if you go on eBay, like those sets are worth. It's crazy what they're worth, and I'm like, holy shit! Like people really pay premiums for trading cards right now. It's a hot market. Trading cards really went up in the pandemic time. So, but this is our first Alive set. Like it's AAW Alive Series 1. We did the Line-em cards before. And this is the Series 1 of the Alive cards. There'll be Line-em cards that will come out after, I think, after the tournament, once we get photos from the Line-em tournament. But these feature a lot of rookie cards, people who are in other companies right now. So this is gonna be a hot seller, man. This is gonna be a hot ticket.
Oh man,
sure.
Am I gonna miss it if I don't go night one?
You might, but we'll see. We're gonna find out.
Okay.
We'll see.
Let me send you a Venmo real quick and put one aside for me.
If you want to put it aside, definitely. We can make it happen. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen.
Okay. Because I haven't opened the other two boxes. I think I was like saving to open them for like a piece of content or something, or maybe like if we do it on Instagram Live or something like that. But then a pandemic hit. So they're just still kind of sitting like on my, and I want to like kind of open them because they're
just
cool.
To give you an idea of how the value goes up on these. The first one, the 2018 Line-em cards, the pack's going for $109 on eBay right now.
What?
$109.
What were the price? Like $15?
They were $15 when you buy them live. Yeah, $109. Night 2 or 2019s are going for $65. And then the breakouts in between, like the individual breakout cards, like Jake Atlas is going for $25.
Oh shit!
Like
holy shit!
Like it's just crazy. Like this shit's wild to me. You know, trading cards are a hot market right now, and I'm proud to see AAW ones really be a part of that buzz, and I'm psyched for these, man. I mean, we got some people on these cards who were never featured before, and people on these cards who don't even have WWE cards.
I see. Right. I think in some of these, one of those two packages, like there's like, the is it Matt Riddle? Is Matt Riddle one of these? Like, is there like
Riddle's probably on the first one. I'm
on the
gonna guess.
first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so is
DJ's in the first one.
first one and second
Kylie,
one.
yeah, Kylie, Kingston.
I see a pen. I'm in Google Images right now because I have the pack. I just don't want to open it. But I see a Penta L0M in there.
There's a
Oh yeah.
there's MJF rookie card in one of them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There's a couple of here we go. Sammy Guevara, Kurt Stallion, Trevor Lee, Shane Strickland, Moose. I didn't know we did a Moose. I forgot we did a Moose card.
Moose.
What else we got?
I just saw him at Warrior last weekend.
Yeah. Darby Allin, DJ Z, Scarlett, Penta, Brody King, MJF, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we got so many Paco,
Jimmy Jacobs,
Jay
Yeah.
Chris, Fitchett, ACH, AC Romero, Trey Miguel, Rich Swann.
Bask in My Glory. What's his name?
Oh, Keith Lee,
Keith Lee. Yeah.
who's now known as Bearcat Lee, apparently, from what I understand.
Oh God.
Yeah, Sammy Callahan, Myron Reed, Jake something, AR Fox, David Vega. There's a lot of freaking names in here, man.
I like how I have the statistics too. It's cool.
Yeah, you forget after. I mean, like, damn, I forgot all these people were in these cards.
So in these cards, like I know it might be too late, but you know, like we should include like a Nate Speckman.
Well, there's
or just one card with all the refs on it doing a cool pose.
That'd be a cool idea. I'd be down for that.
I mean, a throwback to Two Juice Caleb, like. So somebody,
let's not get crazy here. Come on.
I'm just throwing ideas out there. Something's got to stick. Somebody just tweeted. I actually logged into Twitter. The Two Heels and a Face one, and somebody.
we do have a Twitter. You know that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I never checked that. You handle that shit, Charlie. But Jimmy D is like fine wine.
Isn't he? He doesn't age, man.
I'm just saying he should get a card. Does he have a card? Why not?
He should have a card.
Look at Chris putting stuff on your to-do list right now.
There's going to be a throwback in this pack for sure. There are one or two throwbacks in this one.
Is there a Danny Daniels?
I wanted there to be a Danny Daniels card. I don't think it's in this.
And a Jim Lynam, right? Like
there should have been. You know what? When the Lynam cards come out, like when this year's Lynam cards come out, I will push to get a Jim card for sure. There should be a Jim card.
Absolutely.
I recently found a ton of his old photos in the ring when he was managing and stuff.
He has a banner, right? Like
he does have a banner. There might be some new banners on this next show. We'll see.
Right, because I heard at some point that some banners will be removed
depending on your active status.
So I don't want to put you on the spot there now, but like, what does that mean?
Well, I mean,
because we had, Ruby Riot or Ruby Soho now, and like she was part of the banner, but because she's not in WWE anymore, does that mean that she gets removed?
No, because she's still
in the Indies. Like
she's still an AAW legend, so like we're gonna keep her there. But like for example, like who's come back from those? Like I know we had removed like
you removed Jimmy for a while, Jimmy Jacobs,
because when he came back and he was active again, we took his banner down. So because he was active again,
right,
in the company, so we removed Jimmy. Things like that. So if whoever comes back, we remove. But I don't think Seth Rollins is coming back anytime soon. So like, I don't know that are removed there. Tommaso and all those guys. So we'll adjust it on active status, but that's something we have to worry about too much. So I think we're okay right now. but yeah,
eventually Trent has to get a poster up there.
One day when it's all said and done, I'll get a banner.
one day when you take over running AAW,
once I get rid of Danny Daniels and I take him out of the equation, and I say it was me the whole time.
It was always Trent.
Excuse me.
Oh shit. All right, well, I'm super excited for the show. We should probably wrap up though, and
but definitely
we'll
get
all
your
the links
cards
and stuff, links.
I would say get the tickets now. Get all three, do all three if you can make it for all three. It's good. What I love is old school Berwyn style. If if once the afternoon show ends, people are gonna hang out. They'll go out to tacos, pizza, make new friends. Like this is a good time to like make a social group and go hang out till the evening show.
Yeah, I met Chris from going to shows. I mean,
At Berwyn?
So I saw that AAW was putting out there, if anybody's a vendor, if anybody wants to get a merch table, reach out to you guys.
Yeah. If you want a table, for sure.
I mean that's open there. So
we've been doing more. There's been some vendors showing up to like Bourbon Street and stuff, but we're open to it if you want to sell, merchandise, action figures, magazines, whatever. We'll do a table.
Podcasting. I don't know, Charlie.
Hey, listen, just shoot a DM, baby. Shoot a DM over to the AAW account and we'll set it up. But we'd love to have you. We would absolutely love to have anybody who wants to be a vendor. Please come by. Please inquire, send a DM to the AAW Twitter account at AAW Pro, and they can get you the details on what's going on with that. But please do, if you got things to sell and wrestling merch. It's prime. I mean, I see other promotions do it. Like it's prime targeted marketing, like you have a bunch of fans in one room. This is the time to sell your merchandise.
Yeah.
So,
and then and not to put past the fact that the JLMT, don't forget the T.
Got it.
It's definitely like one of the shows that we 2 Heels in the Face, Charlie and I, we both like look forward to every year.
It's true.
And we would try our best to get you, Trent, on board, and other people, anybody who wants to join. Like, we just want to talk about this show because it means something, right? It's for us that we've been around AAW for a while. Like the fact that it's the tournament for Jim Lynam, in his honor, and the fact that you guys put like great matches together, even though you haven't put a great bracket together yet for us to really help us decide.
Hey, cry me a river, man.
I'm just trying to be like, look, I've been putting my submissions out there. I've been trying to guess who's gonna win, and over the years I learned that Charlie like always beats me to this shit. So at this point I was like, okay, we're gonna get a bracket, but it's fine. I'll be patient.
I'm gonna hold off on my picks until the bracket.
I am gonna do
I'm
this.
Boycotting.
I am going to send Danny Daniels a text message
Live
right now.
Air.
Right now, and tell him, hey, can we get a bracket together? People want to suckers gots to know. They need a bracket. So I'm live on the air right now. I'm gonna do this right now.
We're fiending for it. Tell them we're fiending.
Absolutely.
We want to get our smark on.
All right, I'm gonna request it. I'm gonna request a bracket be put out.
I want a chance. I want a chance at winning for once.
All right, you got it, man. So just for you, I'm doing this right now.
Thank you. It will suck if I end up losing, right?
Thank you, Trent.
I'm doing it right now.
About to hit send.
But no, man, this is great. Like the JLMT is coming back. We're actually getting an additional show in the middle of these 2 nights of the JLMT.
And I'm bringing 2 friends. So
are you?
They've been, one has been an AW show with me before, the first one I ever went to, and then I think one might be his first. So I'm
Chris is like, wait, you have other friends besides me? Who the fuck are you bringing to this?
Who's coming? Tell me.
Oh, okay. Chris shouldn't complain because I told him I was buying these tickets when they first went on sale, but he probably doesn't
your
remember
friends,
that.
not me. I
don't have a ticket. I said, hey, I'm buying. Okay, let's not get into
words.
Let's not get into that. We'll bicker. Well, let's not bicker in front of the kids, Chris. Let's not bicker in front of the kids.
Okay. So who's coming, Charlie?
And my friend named Pat and Matt Reed, a founder of this podcast.
Hell yeah, Matt Reed. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yep.
Okay.
And so potentially they haven't. One hasn't seen a show in years. Well, I think this might be his first Oh no, it's not his first AEW show. No, it's not. I'm misspeaking. But they both haven't been in like years. So
okay.
We're doing a little bit of reintroduction, like, hey, let's go. And so reintroducing people to the brand, and I like to think that's a good thing.
No, please come. I'd love to meet him when they get there. I'm like PR guy, so just I'd love to meet these.
You
people.
do everything. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll stop by the PR department, which is the same as the
Trent
production
things.
department.
The PR department. It's just me by like the door.
Just you,
hey, how you doing?
Hey, let's step over here in a production. We just take 2 steps to the right. Hey.
And then I take the same 2 steps over. And this is production.
Hey, same guy. What's up?
Many hats, my man, and many hats.
Many hats.
But we'll have a bunch of stuff available, guys, like the DVDs, T-shirts. We'll have this T-shirt, the logo shirt will be available. The new Chicago, We Bleed Chicago T-shirts restocked.
Ooh.
That'll be there as well. So pick that up. Hats, a couple hats left. The cards, of course. Definitely some. I hope we have some vendors lined up. We'll get them there. But merch tables, autographs, all that stuff. It's gonna be a blast, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Okay. Cool. Looking forward to it. And then where can people find you at AAW Pro on Twitter? Where can people also find you if they have any specific questions, I guess?
Personally, you can find me at Trent Zuberi, Zuberi on Twitter. That's the best way to get a hold of me. And then AAW Pro, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Type in all the updates are on the main page. I retweet everything as well, but on the main AAW Pro Twitter account, we have a little over a week till these shows, but I'm psyched. Honestly, it's just gonna be a big party. I took that Friday off of work. Gonna be there all weekend. I might as well sleep at the Bourbon Eagles Club at that point. But I heard a rumor though that there is a ring in the locker room upstairs. Is this true? I don't know if this is true or not.
I find that hard to believe.
That ceiling is very low, isn't it?
I mean,
that's what I thought.
When we recorded with the besties in the world, that space was very limited upstairs.
It's tiny, man.
Tiny.
And somebody told me that they set up a practice ring in the locker room. I go, there's no fucking way. There's no way.
Maybe it's one of those ones that's really low to the. Have you seen those rings that are like very low to the ground?
I mean, maybe. But if there's some bumps in there, like those lights are gonna fall down.
Yeah, no, there's no way that could support it.
I call bullshit on this, and I'm gonna see it. I'll believe when I see it. But I have said I am determined to get my first official promo photo at these shows with Nick, camera guy.
You
Nick.
should.
I don't have it. I don't have any promos. We're gonna
use that picture for the card next year at the JLMT.
Okay,
we're gonna use it for your banner in 40 years. So
we'll always remember him like this.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I am sniffling into the mic. I keep muting myself, fine. So I apologize. But Trent, it was great having you.
Thank you guys.
And Chris, tell everyone where they can find us.
I'm looking forward to the JLMT. I added the T. I did not forget this time.
Do not forget it.
Especially for Nate. But yeah, as far as Two Heels in a Face goes, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Two Heels in a Face, number 2 Heels in a Face. You can check out our website, twoheelsinAface.com. And if you're not finding our podcast, it's because you're not looking hard enough.
Where'd you get that one from, Chris?
That is coming straight from Charlie. Other than that, you could always, hashtag Viva La Chico. You could hashtag push Paco, hashtag where is Paco?
Viva La Chico.
Hashtag find Paco.
Find Paco. Yeah. Where the hell hashtag where the hell is Paco?
Hashtag no Fridays.
Hashtag no Fridays. Hashtag screw you, Paco.
All right. Well, Trent, again, thank you for being on. Thank you for, always willing to jump on and talk some AAW. So we're looking forward to the show. Make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you get tickets for both nights, 3 shows. It's going to be insane, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
What I'll say this too, for anybody who's thinking about going or even on the fence. If you are a fan of meeting wrestlers, like you want autographs, you want the poster signed, the card signed, whatever. If you're a fan of that, this is the weekend to do it. Like you're getting Eddie
Eagles
Kingston.
Club is such an intimate setting.
Absolutely, it's intimate. The merch tables are aplenty. Yeah. It's also like it's just everybody's there. I mean, you're getting Eddie Kingston, you're getting Thunder Rosa in a very intimate, easy setting to meet
AEW talent,
right? And it's like it's hard to meet these people now, so take advantage of that. If you're anything on the fence, You're like, hey, I just want to get my autographs. Well, come get the autographs, and then you'll see how good the show is too.
Yep, absolutely.
100%.
There you go, guys.
All right.
Back to Burr when we go. That's it. Did we hit end?
I think Chris is looking for the button.
Now we
Was he
did.
looking